My name is Patricia Cochran. I am with the Gang of Seamstresses. I'm the gang leader, so I take care of whatever needs to be done as far as organization and administrative sorts of things. We started this it was about 2018, and my friend Denny Sager was going through a second round of cancer, and he had had bladder cancer, and he'd had the surgery, and he'd done well for a number of years, and then it came back. And I was looking for ways to cheer him up, cheer him on, and I, sent him some books and made him some seatbelt pillows and those sorts of things. And I was looking on the internet one day, on Pinterest or one of those, and saw these shirts. And I thought, oh, that's a great idea. We'll get him some of these shirts. They were $35 a piece. And I thought, no way, I could make these. So I got some shirts from the thrift store and just looked at them and figured out what needed to happen to make these shirts work. So I made 3 shirts for him. I sent them to him. He wore them to the James Center where he was getting his treatment, and the nurses went crazy over them. So he was telling me this, and we thought, well, we can make a few more. So got the sewing girls involved, and we made a couple more dozen, and sent those up, and then a couple more dozen, and pretty soon we've sent probably, 100 shirts or whatever. And by that time, Red Man was just about done with his treatment, and when he was done with his treatment, he rang the bell, and the nurses said, we're so happy for you, but we're sad for us because we're not going to get any more shirts. So we got to talking about it, and it was really satisfying for us to make these shirts. It was a pain in the butt as they were. It was just something we felt like we could do. Our skills were being put to use for good and not evil, and we just felt like we could do some more. So we started out in Beaver Creek looking for shirts, and the Beaver Creek Soccer Association had like 400 shirts in a shed that had been there for 8 years, and pretty soon they're on my doorstep. So we ordered zippers and interfacing, and got some more seamstresses together, and we just started making these shirts. And so we would tweak as we go. We were just fine tune, and then we had to find a place to take these shirts. So we got a hold of Soin Hospital, part of the Kettering Health Network, and they said, well, we'll take some of those shirts. So we took some shirts to them, and then we tried Premier. We took some shirts to them. Then we'd get a straggler here and there who'd say, oh, I would love to have one of those shirts. How can I get one of those shirts? And so we just started producing. And I think the first year that we made shirts, we made just under 1,000 shirts. And then the next year we made 1,800 shirts. Then the next year we made 3,000 shirts. And then the next year we made almost 4,000 shirts. So we're at 16,000 shirts right now that we have distributed. We've made more than that, but we've distributed 16,000 shirts.
No kidding.
That's a lot of shirts.
No kidding.
We send all over the country. We've sent to Germany. We've sent to Canada. Pretty much anybody who asks for a shirt gets a shirt. We started paying for shipping once we started getting some donations to come in. Because prior to this, we were all self-funded. And we decided that we would pay for shipping as long as we could afford it, because what we were finding was people were contacting us for shirts, and some of them were in areas that we knew to be low-income areas. And they'd say, oh, I get paid on Friday. I'll send the money then, and we never hear from them again. So we knew they didn't have the money. So we just decided that was not acceptable, and we were going to send shirts free of charge, and that's what we do. Now, we get lots of donations. We have been so fortunate and so blessed that we have not ever run out of money. We've always had money when we need it. and for that we're grateful. So as long as we can be funded, we'll plug away. Currently, we are serving all of the major hospitals in the Dayton area, the adult clinics. And we have just recently picked up Chillicothe, the Adena Center in Chillicothe, Ohio. We have sent to hospitals in Pennsylvania. We would like to add more seamstresses if we could. At times we get a little frantic with, we might get a request for several hospitals at once and they want 600 shirts and we don't have 600 shirts done. But the gangstresses are really pretty good about, if I say, this is what we need, this is who's asking, I need all hands on deck, and I dole out shirts like 20 at a time, and they'll take them, finish them, bring them back, pick up another load, and we meet our mark. So the other thing is, I always tell them, we're volunteers. Just because they want shirts doesn't mean they're going to get shirts next week. Family is always first, and we've had a lot of that recently with our gangstresses. Not that they've been sick, but their husbands have been sick. So we had a lot of at the end of last year, a lot of seamstresses that couldn't get to the sewing machines because they were taking their husbands to the doctor or whatever. So we could use some more seamstresses. If anybody has an interest, we do what we call zipper school, and spend the day showing you how to do it, watching you do it. We provide everything: shirts, zippers, thread, baggies to put them in, whatever you need. If you need some remediation, that's fine. We do that. So if anybody's interested, that'd be great. Just let me know. We meet a lot of nice people. We meet a lot of sad people. We meet just a lot of people that have just gotten kicked in the stomach because they've been told they've got cancer, or their husband has cancer, or their child has cancer, or whatever. The nice thing about not being so big is that we can spend time with those people, and I try to do that if they call me or text me or message me or whatever. I try to spend a little time just talking to them, listening to their story. And then I try to relay that to the gangstresses, because I think it's important for them to know that the work that they do really makes a difference. I would say we often get cards or emails or whatever, but sometimes we get the emails and we get the cards, and they'll say, "Thank you so much. This makes such a difference in my life. It restores my faith." Just those kinds of things. When you're in a situation of crisis like that, I think any little bit of kindness really goes a long way. And so we try to do that. We really try to. We don't turn anybody down, unless it's obvious that they're fishing for something for free or whatever. But that is so rare. Just only a couple of times have I ever had to deal with a person like that. Most of the time they're, I wish I had money. We had one gal who, like 2 years ago, said, "I don't have any money right now. I just started my cancer treatment, but when I'm better and I get back to work, I'd like to send a donation." And she did. 2 years, after 2 years, she remembered that. We had last year a patient who was actually a local patient here, who had esophageal cancer. It was a very rare kind and very aggressive, and his fight lasted 3 months. Well, he got a shirt from, I think it was the Upper Valley Center, and his wife and he were so impressed that when he died, the wife made us the beneficiary of the funeral home envelopes, and we were shocked. We had absolutely no idea this was going to happen, and he must have been well loved because the donations were very generous. We've gotten big donations from churches, from women's groups, and some from just people. some just people who just feel the need to help. So we feel very, very fortunate for that. Thank you. The shirts are just crew neck shirts, and depending on which side the port is on, when patients get cancer treatment, they have to have an access that is easy to get to and reliable. So they either have it put in over here or over here. Sometimes they have what's called a PICC line in their arm, and we do make shirts for those as well. But that's a special request. So we ask them what side their port is on, and we send them a shirt that has the zipper in it that opens up like this, and then they can just access their port. Otherwise, they have to wear a shirt, that they have to pull down, or they have to lift up, or a V-neck that they have to pull to the side. So this allows them to not have to change their clothes while they're there, and it just maintains their dignity. So that's basically what it looks like. We also do hoodies, because the centers are oftentimes cold. The patients are cold. So we do hoodies. Those are very popular with the younger people. We do sweatshirts. We have done the polo shirts, short sleeves, long sleeves. We love a challenge.
So if someone were to want to reach out to you, whether to either get shirts themselves, to make a donation, or even to offer help or anything like that, how would they go about doing that?
They could email me at gangofseamstresses@gmail.com. They could call me at 937-974-6961, leave a message. We have a Facebook page. We use Messenger. I use Messenger a lot. Text me at that phone number. Word of mouth. Have a friend call. Whatever as long as we know, and we have to know the side your port is on, what size of a shirt you take, and how you want to get it. So if you want to pick it up from my house, that's fine. If you're local, you want to do that, or we can put it in the mail.
So what brought you to Tiger Eye Designs? What is this?
Oh, well, Tony's my friend
I should probably... That's probably important. Yeah, good
There you go.
Tony's my friend from many moons ago. His sister's my best friend. We've known each other since we were 5 years old. And Tony had given us shirts from the farm, like for the last couple of years. And then he had some of these rosy shirts that he made, and these rosy shirts, and gave them to us. And oh my gosh, the women love them. They said they feel empowered when they're wearing a rosy shirt. So Tony and I were talking, and he says, well, I can get those made. We just have to order them, and then they need to get pressed and that kind of stuff. So we said, well, let's try it. We'll just try it, and we'll see how it goes. And it has gone so well. So I am happy to partner with Tony on this project, and I think he's enjoying it too. And yeah.